Hello and welcome to the first chapter of Transcension, a 2D game that I'm currently developing that has a strong story and fun gameplay. For these videos there will be no script whatsoever, and the purpose is really to show the power of incremental progress. You know, everyone sees the finished result and they think, wow, that's impossible, that's amazing, but really it's all about each and every day. My past programming experience is there's a good amount, but I've only made one other Unity game, and it was like in 2020. It was like 4 years ago, and this is what it is now. Not, the best work ever. So, I'm no genius at all. I'm just a beginner programmer, and please enjoy. Okay, welcome to the first log. So far, what I've done is I've followed these 3 tutorial videos. I will be completing the whole thing, but I have followed these 3 pretty much one-to-one. And so far, I have created an idle animation, a jumping animation, and a running animation. That I'll show right here. And obviously, I've also created jumping and wall jumping. And here's the code. But now I will be starting to deviate because this is mostly his code. I'm going to apply what he has taught about raycasting, basically, shooting a ray to check if I'm on the ground, and if I am, then I can jump, and same thing with wall climbing. I'm going to add a ceiling where when I touch that ceiling, it's going to push me down. It's going to be a special ceiling. And my plans to move forward are also to create some better visuals. Right now it's just black. I want to have an actual, world building. And in the very far future, I want there to be some text in the game to make some story. And, I'm just taking it one step at a time. All right, welcome to the second log. I've made some good progress. I learned more about sprites, and I've actually made the things I'll be using a lot, like the floors, the walls, the ceilings, into prefabs. And I'm happy about that. It will reduce how much code I have to actually write. I can just reuse them. I also color-coded the sprites for each of them. So this is the climbing wall. This is the normal floor. And, like I said I was going to, I added this all on my own. When you touch it, it shoots you down. And it's actually really fun to play with. You can just do this. Yes, this is why you game develop. There is some issues I noticed though. There's like clipping. Yeah. And I think that this will be fixed in the later tutorials, so I'll be waiting on that, and I think I'm going to transition into doing more tutorials. And here is the pretty simple code I added. If on push ceiling, here's the raycast. It checks up for the ceiling layer, and if it does, then it'll give me push power in the negative direction because the power is like a magnitude I created, and it's here. So I could make it even crazier, but I think I'm good with 25. It's still pretty nice. And another thing I want to do is add a progress file. But yeah, things are going well. Next time next day, I'm going to be following the tutorial again so that I can fix some of the things and learn more. Today, I completed the 4th tutorial, and it was all about fireballs and projectiles. So here's what I've made, and of course I made them into a prefab, you already know. And here it is. Pretty sick. So I learned pulling. Basically, it's reusing the fireballs. And if you keep creating and destroying fireballs at a large scale, it will be bad for performance. So it's cool. I like it. And the animations are very nice as well. Here is the code. Basically, I have a player attack on the player, and then this controls the fireball projectiles. And this was a feature that wasn't in his tutorial, but I made it so that it won't collide with itself or player. And when I mean itself, I mean other fireballs. But to be honest, I've just spent 2 hours coding and I don't fully, grasp everything. So tomorrow I will look over the code and make sure I understand every part of it. And I also plan, on that note, to make varying fireballs. So the longer you hold down left click, the bigger it'll be, the slower it'll be, and the more damage it'll do. And obviously I'll cap it, and then the same way with the reverse. So if you just instant click it, it'll be fast and small like this, but I want to make bigger ones too. And very later down the line, I hope that I can, maybe you can add upgrades that'll maybe change the fireball's color to show that it has like a new evolution. But that's way down the line. So yeah, I will analyze and implement those things tomorrow. And I'm very tired now, so I'm gonna go sleep. Welcome to day number 4. As you can see, I finally put my stuff on GitHub. And I added varying fireballs. So yesterday I was talking about the different sizes for how long you hold down the charge, and I've added that. So if you hold down charge for 1, it's pretty big, and here they're pretty small. I've added a limit. They're actually much smaller in reality. And I need to add more if statements to make the sizing more intuitive. And the charge time also seems a little bit long, but I'm hoping if I can put enough damage, it'll make sense. I also added a little bit of a UI element there. It's pretty ugly. I'll probably make it better later. And also for the future, I want to actually have graphics. This looks really, really terrible right now. Here's the code. Oh, and I also started understanding all the code. I looked through it, and now I understand what everything does really well. Yeah, so, this was a pain to make. There were so many errors with, creating the attack charge and implementing it here. I had to change the sign of the charge and everything, and here I made it into the vector. But I learned a lot more familiar, and yeah, I'm very happy with today. I didn't have much time today, but I started working on the graphics of the game. So I got this asset and also the asset from this tutorial, and I've started learning a little bit about tile mapping and how this all works, and I created grass. Now, I'm not going to use the one from the tutorial much, like this grass. It's a little bit too bright for my game. I kind of want my game to have a more gloomy feel to it. And so if I can find it, yeah, so I'm going to be using these textures instead, which are, can they give me a preview? Yeah, here. It's more medieval, I would guess. That would be the word for it. Yeah, they're a little bit more gloomier, which is kind of what I'm going for. But I still just wanted to practice getting used to these tiles, and I also learned how to snap objects, so now there's no gaps, and I like that. So yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, I didn't have much time, so I didn't do that much. But I'll continue working on the graphics. Today, I got some more graphics, and I got a camera working. I deviated from the tutorial a lot. He's using, camera look ahead, and he's very room-based, whereas I like mine a little bit more free-flowing. So mine is just very simple. It just gets the player's position and basically copies it exactly. And as you can see, I've turned everything into terrain. Now, I said that I wanted a more moody type of terrain, but now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of want this to instead go a more futuristic or metal-y type of route. Like this pillar right here, I like the look of this a lot. I don't think this mud and grass really fit my game, because I want this to be kind of like you're taking risks while you go up. Like for example, you have to jump here. Like kind of like that type of risk. I also changed the fireball, so now it charges twice as fast. So that's good. And I also, I fixed some of the code. There were like some problems with how it like timed. And it would have had problems in the future. So I fixed that, and also I've noticed this new problem with the terrain where if I jump and land, I sometimes get stuck, which is really bad. Let me see if I can... Okay, seriously? The one time I don't want it to work. Okay, well, trust me, it clips, and it's really weird, and I don't know why. Also, we still have this clipping from day one. I really hope this tutorial fixes it, or maybe I'll have to look online. Yeah. I also zoomed out the camera. Alright, that's all for today. Welcome to the final day of this video. I skipped a few days because there wasn't much progress, but in the future I won't do that because honestly, you guys deserved to see my suffering. Man, like the last few days, nothing worked. Like I was trying to get the ground. It was just misery. I tried doing shaders, I tried everything, but finally this gentleman just let me repeat. Because the thing was is that I didn't want to add a bunch of individual tiles to spread across this entire span for what I have for my game and what I envision, but finally it worked, as you can see. Yeah, I tried a bunch of things. I tried here, let me see if I can show you. I tried using like a shader. Yeah, this is how my shader experience went. For some reason I couldn't put like the individual sprite in there. I had to put the tile set, and then I tried to modify it or somehow, but I really couldn't. Anyways, I added spikes, so when you hit here it'll kill you. Now, if you're OCD like me, you might be pissed off that this thing isn't directly aligned, but it's fine because I also, I don't know if I showed this yet, but I added a camera, you know, so that the character, the camera moves with the character, and I also set a limit on that, so that when I reach here, it doesn't go any further. It's really cool. It's like the boundary of the game, and then if you hit the spikes, you'll die, obviously. And yeah, the ground, this is automatically tiled. Very nice. So that was what I was struggling with for many days. It was really miserable. Honestly, it's because I don't really understand the tile sets and everything. So yeah, as you can see, there's a camera limit here. And then yeah, everything's good. So now I can actually get working on my game. Yeah. And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the first chapter, and I look forward to the next. I will be improving the level of conciseness in each of my logs, while still not scripting, obviously. If you enjoyed, please consider a like and a sub. I would greatly appreciate it. And later.